Welcome, welcome, everyone. I am thrilled to have you here today. This is Inscripted as Fuck, and I am your host, Ann Evanston, speaker, coach, and author. And I am thrilled to bring you a man who thought he was a woman applying to a show for women, yet he had the balls to do it. And we are here today. I'm thrilled to introduce to you Mickey, who is a serial entrepreneur and started his first business at age 23 and has spent decades building and leading teams across multiple industries. He is now the founder and CEO of Immeasura Growth Partners and helps owners bring structure to growth with one simple message. No one's coming. So stop waiting and start building. Hi, Mickey Lyles. How are you today?
I am fantastic, Ann. Thank you for having me, and I appreciate the way that we found each other, and I'm looking forward to having some fun together.
Me too, sir. I have utmost respect for a man who realizes that he said, I want to be on an all women show and said, I'm going for it anyway. So I'm thrilled to have you here today. I always like to start with sales with my questions because let's get real. If you're not selling, do you really have a business, right?
Correct.
That's really what we do it for. And you say sales are clarity, not persuasion, which I loved that comment. And you picked it on some things like values, the numbers, conviction. So, what would you tell someone watching today about how to start in being better at sales?
Yeah, so maybe it's a little bit my age, but I still think that so many sales come from personal interaction, and we're living in a world where we're becoming too digitally based and too digital oriented. So I think it depends on where you're trying to go. If you're trying to scale to a lot of clients for a better cost of entry, I think digital is good. But if you want a
Mhm.
lower quantity of clients but higher quality, I still think you have to make yourself present. So what does that mean? Still working network events and doing trade shows, conventions, and things of that nature. I almost never leave a convention without new clients, and they're normally high profile clients because you're able
Mhm.
to make that personal connection. So I'm
Yeah.
still a little old school with sales, but certainly we generate sales through digital workflows as well.
Yeah. Well, I am a big social person, and I say social by i.e. social media. Grew
Hmm.
my, before Facebook was I couldn't get on Facebook in the beginning because I didn't have a high school or college email.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So, but I have learned for me, especially if I want the super loyal, better ticket clients, the ones that are committed, still, even online from that standpoint, it is the relationship. It is that part of know, like, and trust. It is that part of being able them be able to hear your voice and shake your hand, if you will, virtually even. So I love that answer. And I think too many people are taking the human out of their work.
100%.
Yeah, love that. Okay, beautiful. Okay, so let's get a little sassy now. You mentioned to me that you are allergic to fluff.
Yeah, I'm a pretty direct person, and I just think that at the speed of business and the speed of life, and I don't have time for it, and I wish that more people would just get more direct and transparent. I'm from the South. Maybe this is something we just say, or maybe it's just something I say, but I get caught sometimes going, "I'm going to be honest with you," and I hear a lot of people saying that, and I'm like, "Aren't we always supposed to
Always.
be honest with each other?" So I try really hard to not say, "I'm going to be honest with you," to say, "I'm going to be transparent with you." And if people
Mm-hmm.
would just be transparent, we would know where we stand and our communication would be better. But
Mm-hmm.
also in the consulting and coaching space, there are
Mm-hmm.
so many people selling fluff. They sign people up and they send them a three-ring binder with, here's my 6 steps to success, or, put them in a digital LMS system, which I get. I mean, I have one too for a
Yeah.
low cost of entry. But the real business growth strategy comes from rolling up your sleeves and understanding what these folks are doing and what they're passionate about and how much income they want to make, and really helping them build a business model that not is just, don't just use the word successful, because successful is objective. Everybody has different
Yeah.
kinds of goals.
Yeah.
So fluff in the sense that let's solve real business problems for real hardworking people so they can accomplish their dreams. That's really what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah. So I love the first thing you said, to be honest with you. Mine is always like to tell you the truth. And I'm like, so you weren't so far,
Right.
you know?
Exactly.
And I often say, even to people that I'm working through, if you will, that real conversation to get clear if we're a fit or not, back to the sales point, I often say, can I be real with you? And my be real is like your be transparent with that process. And yeah, uh, selling a magic thing doesn't work. How do I know how this is going to work for you if I never listen to what you have going on? So,
Absolutely. Yeah.
yeah.
So, there's a saying out there that I struggle with, customized is not scalable, but it's done well
Mhm.
for me. And
Yes,
and I
sir.
and I get it.
Yeah,
Some people don't see that, but I like to be more customized and
yeah.
personal in my approach to clients.
I love that. Yes, I love that part too. And I think that, yeah, give me a script and I'll follow the script is, oh, I have 47 scripts you can buy for $19, right?
Right.
And then you don't
Exactly.
use one of them because they don't make any sense to you and how they fit into your work and your business and who you're attracting as a client.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Okay, so self-love, which I firmly believe that for many entrepreneur type people, it really isn't the system or the process that they struggle with. It's their own stuff and
Hmm.
got to work here for that to work. So you mentioned two things about self-love. You said discipline and boundaries. So talk a little bit about discipline and boundaries and the importance of them to success.
Yeah, so I wasn't always who I am. And
Mhm.
I married the same woman twice. We were married for 11 years, got divorced, got remarried, and there's two lives there, right? And in our first
Yeah,
life, I wasn't disciplined.
yeah.
Sometimes I would get out off work on a Friday and get in pajamas and not get dressed again until Monday morning. I hate to admit it, but it's the reality, right? Just lazy and not very goal focused. And in the second life, after the coming of the new age, so to speak,
Mhm.
learning to become disciplined became one of the biggest things for our life. And now we live this life that we dreamed about and we talked about. And you can't run multiple businesses. I have 9 operating companies today without
Yeah,
discipline.
yeah.
Boundaries. I grew up with a dad that was married 5 times and a mom that was married 3 times. I have a
Mhm.
lot of childhood, crap like a lot of us do that we had to, I have had to work through. And so
Mhm.
understanding boundaries in my life and in my work performance with clients, work
Mhm.
performance with coworkers, and then of course family and friends and all the other relationships that we carry has made me it helps you accelerate what you're trying to accomplish when you have good boundaries, but it's also helped with my mental health, just understanding that
Mhm.
not everybody's going to like you. And I just
Mhm.
don't believe you can be uber successful and have everybody like you. You have to set
Yeah.
boundaries and you have to set standards and you have to operate within those for yourself, not for anybody
Mhm.
else. And then the last, which you didn't mention, but I think is so important, is look, I still struggle with imposter syndrome. I think as
Mhm.
entrepreneurs, we
Mhm.
all grow up and then we get on these channels and we get success and then we're like, but me? Somebody's going to listen
Yeah,
to me? Like, who would listen to me?
yeah.
But, it amazes me when you find 30-something-year-old coaches that are
Mhm.
successful because I'm like, who's listening to them? Because I wouldn't have. It took me to be 50 years old before I would even believe in myself that somebody would listen to what I could coach them or teach them on, right? So
Yeah.
I have a lot of respect for people who are able to do that. But I think overcoming imposter syndrome is very important as an
Mhm.
entrepreneur. It's easy for that to creep up on you.
Yeah. And then your imposter syndrome leads to fear of rejection, right? Or, I think especially in the coaching world, you have to be a little bit vulnerable. And that vulnerability does mean that piece where people aren't going to like you, you
100%. Yeah.
know? Yeah. So super powerful. And I'm also a big boundary person. And it's crazy to me that people will sleep with their phone to answer responses to clients. And then when I do, like a cash analysis of their work, and I'm like, wait a minute, they get 24/7, 365 unlimited access to you for $100 a month? What?
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
And you
Yeah.
wonder why you're failing? Let's talk a
Yeah.
little bit about the boundary there.
Well, for any of your entrepreneurs that might be starting out or trying to figure out their pricing model, I always tell this to my clients. Rolex is Rolex for a reason. Rolex isn't the greatest watch ever made. They
Mhm.
actually lose time fairly easily, but they
Mhm.
have this status that people want, right?
Mhm.
And so I would always say if I built a boat, a custom built boat, and I called it the Lyles, which is my last name, and there was
Mhm.
only one, and I said, hey, it's $50 million, somebody in the world would buy it just because it's a one of a kind, and they would say, no, you don't
Yeah.
know what this is. This is the Lyles. It's the
Yeah.
same way in our coaching and consulting. You can go chase 50 clients for $100 a month, or you can go
Mhm.
sell one quality client for $5,000 a month. You just
Mhm.
have to believe that your value is there and then
Right.
deliver the value.
Yeah. And that's total self-love stuff because price point is really believing you're worthy of the price point. So you're 100% right there. I love that so much. Okay. So a couple word association as we wrap up together. Hot chicken or oysters?
Hot chicken.
All right. Camping or a private beach?
Gosh, I'm 50-50 on that one. I love both.
Ah, okay. And then last, finish the sentence for me. If you had my Japanese katana in your hand right now, you'd cut through what?
I would cut through all the bullshit.
Mm, me too. Can we just get rid of it, please? I love that
Yes.
answer. All right. I so appreciate you being here with me today, Nikki. And I'm sure, Nikki, where did that come from? Mickey, I wanted to give you a feminine name. Watch that happen
Oh,
right
yeah.
there, right? And that made me want to sing an 80s song. So I'll just leave it at
Yeah,
that.
it either has to go to the 80s song or to Disney, one or the other.
There you go, right? All right, Vicky. So I so appreciate you being here. Your answers were fabulous. We probably could have talked for an hour. I have given people information to connect with you. And do you have any last second, 30-second words that you want to give the group or someplace to find you, anything like that as we wrap up today?
Absolutely. And not to be repetitive, but you started with it. No one's coming to save you. No one's coming. Stop waiting. Start building. The life
Mhm.
you want is on the other side of the decisions you make today.
Mhm. Amen. Get up every day and do it.
That's
So
it.
I love that. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mic drop to you, Mickey, for being here and letting this female dominant audience listen and hear your wisdom. I appreciate you greatly. And for those of you who are watching, please leave a comment below. Click on his links. Go check out the information and hit the subscribe button and come back and join us again. I'm Ann Evanston, and this is Unscripted as Fuck. Bye now, everyone.